I would like to give the perspective of the difference between the contingency fund and the contingency vote.
Yes, but before
then the Ghanaian people.
Do you realize that the contingency vote itself is limited? There are some things you can't do.
I do not doubt that other government obligations include the seed capital that must be given for the country's National Cathedral, which the Attorney General gave an opinion on that as at January 2022. That is the National Cathedral and not the President's Cathedral, and is registered.
But is it a National Cathedral that the people want that is going to serve the purpose of the people? That's
the President of the Republic was voted into power by the people. And so whatever vision,
but without having told the people,
whatever vision,
but without having told the people that he would construct a national cathedral,
whatever vision,
never in there.
The president did not even tell the people he was going to do Agenda 111. But as a result of COVID and the deficiency,
he spoke of infrastructure.
Yes,
Agenda 111 feeds into that.
No, the president did not speak about Agenda 111 in the 2016 elections. You will recall. But as a result of the fact that we didn't predict that the world was going to face such a major pandemic that had close to about 6 million people dying globally, the president saw the deficiency in the health infrastructure and decided that he's going to build 111 hospitals. And I tell you today that 60% of them are close to completion. So there are certain things that we didn't tell the Ghanaian people, rightly so, but in the midst of that, as part of the vision of the entire architecture of the country, we as a government felt that it's good for us to put that. But let me just give the difference between the contingency fund and the contingency vote.
Right.
Now, on page 6 of the finance minister's delivery, and he says the contingency fund, the proponents refer to it, was covered under the Constitution, specifically under Article 177. This constitutes money voted by Parliament, and advances from this must be authorized by the Parliament Finance Committee. Right. That's clear. Now, the contingency vote, on the other hand, is in line under the other government obligations.
Right.
Vote, which is approved by the Finance Committee and passed as part of the Annual Appropriation Act passed by Parliament. And then give case reference that from 2014, there was no specific allocation for the 2014 budget for Ghana's participation in the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Right. The cabinet of President John Mahama, and I stated all of this over and over again. So clearly, there are issues that are not stated in the budget that goes under other government obligations. And I feel that the matter has been brought to a rest with this clarification. And I stated there are many
I don't know about coming to a rest, because you have only explained to us what the law says technically. But the point to be made is that the contingency vote is not infinite. That is what has come to the fore. That is what some other members of Parliament have also brought up. And I'm saying that it's not to say that the contingency fund vote is not meant for the purposes. It's meant for exigencies. But people are saying, was the National Cathedral an exigency? Was it an urgency? And having spent 25 million seed money, it overshoots what the contingency vote is meant.
Benjamin, I do not think so. I think that the matter that was brought to bear was the constitutionality of the withdrawal.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is what is carried with this entire,
it's a matter of constitutionality.
Agreement or discussion on a fund and a vote.
Yes, the main issue is that the finance minister, John Akufo-Addo, has not breached any constitution in the withdrawal of the amount of money that was given as seed capital to the National Cathedral. You'll recall that in all budgets that were presented, and I have it here, in the 2021 budget that was presented, we stated as a country that we're going to support with land, we're going to support with the secretariat, and we're going to support with seed capital. And so if, as a government, I mean, if you look at our 2020 budget and economic policy, paragraph 385, we announced the establishment of the Board of Trustees of the Cathedral. The same year, 2020 media review budget, paragraph 279, we also announced the groundbreaking, which happened on the 5th of March, 2020, for the commercial construction of the face of the project of the Cathedral. So you look at all of these issues. We have updated the Ghanaian people in all of our budget statements and our budget reading of the government's commitment, in addition to all other infrastructural works that we are doing. But I'll tell you the truth, the economic value when we are done as a country building this cathedral, you would appreciate the number of persons that would come into this country for tourism because there is a Bible museum that is being built. I had an opportunity of living in Israel for 3 years, and I've seen the number of people that journey from around the world to come to Jerusalem on pilgrimage on a regular basis. And on this continent, Christians would appreciate that our Lord Jesus Christ came to Egypt. And so if we have a National Cathedral that represents the faith of the Ghanaian people, I think that it's something that we all must be grateful to.
The faith of the Ghanaian people is, first of all, if you would, yes, looking at the numbers, more Christian, but there are Muslims here. There are those who observe, at least if you look at the 3 recognized ones, at least as per our national life, traditional, African religion, Christianity, Islam. So which faith exactly?
Ghana is a very sacred religious.
We're not.
Ghana is not a Christian country. No one has stated that. No one has stated that.
Right.
Ghana is a very religious and sacred country.
Right.
And I was particularly excited when the chief imam exhibited that religiosity by supporting the National Cathedral, because it's a national monument. Right. It's a national monument, and everyone should be a part of it. In recent times, I think sometime this morning, I heard Dr. Joyce Ayers speak about the National Cathedral and how people should be contributing to make sure that the National Cathedral is built. And I'm very confident that by the time we go into the 2024 general election, we will see such a beautiful edifice there for the Ghanaian people to continually engage in their worship to God or to Allah or to whichever supreme being